Mornings used to feel simple. You'd wake up, stretch your arms, and head to the kitchen. Maybe pour yourself a cup of coffee, toast a slice of bread, or grab something quick before the day began. It was routine, comforting, familiar. But as the years go by, your body begins to change in ways you can't see. The same breakfast that once gave you energy might now leave you feeling heavy, dizzy, or tired before noon. Your heart beats a little faster. Your hands feel colder. And sometimes you wonder why mornings, once so peaceful, now feel a little harder. I once met a man named Robert, 72 years old. Every morning he started his day with orange juice, a muffin, and a cup of coffee, a breakfast he'd been eating for nearly 40 years. He thought it was healthy. But after a few months of feeling lightheaded in the mornings, his doctor discovered that his blood pressure was surging right after breakfast. The reason wasn't his medication. It was his morning routine. You see, the foods we choose right after waking up can quietly shape how our blood flows, how our heart works, and how our brain stays alert through the day. The wrong breakfast can thicken your blood, dehydrate your body, and make your arteries tense without you even realizing it. And for someone over 60, that's when the danger begins to build. But here's the hopeful part. It doesn't have to be that way. Your morning can become your medicine. When you understand which foods to avoid and which habits to embrace, you can protect your brain and heart before your day even begins. So today, let's talk about the 6 things you should never eat in the morning, and the 3 simple habits that can help you prevent stroke, boost circulation, and bring back the calm, steady mornings your body remembers. Because the way you start your day can quietly decide how the rest of it unfolds. So let's start right where most mornings begin, in the kitchen. You might think you're making a healthy choice, reaching for the same breakfast you've had for years. But what if some of the foods you've trusted the most are quietly doing the opposite of what you intend, raising your blood pressure, thickening your blood, and straining your heart before your day even starts? Let's begin with one of the most common morning mistakes. Number 1. Refined breakfast cereals, the healthy breakfast, that silently damages your arteries. They sit on nearly every breakfast table in America. Colorful boxes promising heart health, energy, and whole grains. They look harmless, even wholesome. But for seniors, those refined breakfast cereals are often the first hidden trigger that throws your circulation off balance. Most commercial cereals are made from refined grains stripped of fiber, protein, and essential nutrients. What's left behind is a quick-burning carbohydrate that turns into sugar the moment it touches your tongue. Within minutes, your blood sugar spikes. Your pancreas floods your bloodstream with insulin, and your arteries tighten in response to that surge. Then, as sugar levels crash an hour later, you feel lightheaded or weak, a dangerous dip for anyone with fragile circulation. For older adults, these sugar swings are more than just a nuisance. Each spike and crash stresses the lining of your blood vessels, the endothelium, which keeps your arteries flexible. Over time, that repeated stress causes microtears where cholesterol and calcium start to stick. That's how plaque begins to form. That's how a simple breakfast can, slowly but surely, raise your stroke risk. And there's more. Many healthy cereals are coated with hidden sugars and artificial flavorings, often disguised under names like evaporated cane juice, brown rice syrup, or malt extract. Some brands contain the equivalent of 8 to 10 teaspoons of sugar per serving, more than a can of soda. When you combine that with milk, which adds lactose, another form of sugar, your morning meal turns into a perfect storm for blood sugar and blood pressure instability. If you've ever felt your heart beating faster or your hands trembling a bit after breakfast, this might be why. Your body is reacting to that sudden rise and fall in glucose. And for seniors already on medication for hypertension or diabetes, that reaction can be risky. So what should you do instead? Reach for steel-cut oats, unsweetened Greek yogurt with berries, or a slice of whole grain toast with avocado. These foods digest slowly, keeping your sugar steady and your blood flow calm. If you enjoy cereal, choose one labeled no added sugar and pair it with a source of protein like nuts or eggs to keep insulin under control. The goal isn't to give up breakfast, it's to give up the kind of breakfast that quietly harms you. Because when you start your morning with balance instead of sugar, your body thanks you all day long. Number 2. Orange juice on an empty stomach, the morning habit that spikes blood sugar and blood pressure. After a bowl of cereal, many people reach for what they believe is the perfect companion, a tall glass of orange juice. It feels refreshing, full of vitamins, and it's been marketed for decades as the healthy way to start your day. But for older adults, drinking orange juice on an empty stomach can quietly create the exact opposite effect. Spikes in blood sugar, drops in pressure, and unnecessary stress on your heart. Here's why. Orange juice, even the kind labeled 100% pure, is still a concentrated source of fructose, a natural sugar that hits your bloodstream fast when there's no food to slow it down. 1 cup contains around 25 grams of sugar, the same as 6 teaspoons. When that sugar floods your body first thing in the morning, your insulin levels shoot up to bring it under control. Moments later, your blood sugar plunges, and you feel dizzy, tired, or shaky before breakfast even begins. For seniors, this sugar roller coaster isn't just uncomfortable, it's dangerous. Rapid changes in glucose levels can cause narrowing and widening of blood vessels, making circulation unstable. The heart compensates by beating harder, and blood pressure can spike suddenly. This is especially risky in the morning when your body is naturally transitioning from a state of rest to activity, a period when stroke and heart attack risk are already highest. Orange juice also contains natural acids, which can irritate an empty stomach and slow digestion. That's why many people feel mild nausea, bloating, or heartburn after drinking juice before eating. And while you may think you're getting vitamin C, you're actually missing most of the fiber and antioxidants that protect your arteries, because those live in the fruit's pulp, not in the juice. So what's the better choice? If you enjoy oranges, eat the whole fruit, not the juice. The fiber in real oranges slows sugar absorption, supports digestion, and helps stabilize blood flow. Or, if you want something to drink in the morning, start with a glass of warm water with a squeeze of lemon. It hydrates you, supports your metabolism, and gently wakes up your circulation without shocking your system. For older adults, mornings should be calm, not a test of your blood sugar or blood pressure. And while orange juice may look bright and healthy in the glass, for your arteries, it's a burst of sugar your body doesn't need. Sometimes protecting your heart isn't about saying no to sweetness. It's about saying yes to balance. Number 3. White bread or toast with margarine. The comfort breakfast that clogs morning circulation. For many people, there's something comforting about the smell of toasted bread in the morning. It feels simple, familiar, and harmless. A warm start to the day. Maybe you've been doing it for years. A slice of white toast, a little margarine, and a cup of coffee. It seems innocent. But for seniors, that small breakfast can quietly disrupt blood flow, raise bad cholesterol, and strain your heart before the morning even begins. Let's start with the bread. White bread is made from refined flour, grains that have been stripped of fiber, bran, and nutrients. That means your body digests it as quickly as sugar. Within minutes, your blood glucose rises, your insulin spikes, and your arteries tighten in response. It's the same blood sugar roller coaster that refined breakfast cereals cause, only faster. And when your body repeats this cycle day after day, the lining of your blood vessels weakens, becoming more prone to inflammation and plaque buildup. Now let's talk about the spread, margarine. For decades, margarine was marketed as the healthy alternative to butter. But most commercial margarines contain trans fats and hydrogenated oils, artificial fats created through chemical processing to keep them solid at room temperature. These fats don't just raise your LDL, bad cholesterol, they also lower your HDL, good cholesterol. That double effect makes your arteries stiff, sticky, and less able to expand when blood pressure changes, a dangerous setup for morning strokes. And here's what makes it worse: the combination of refined carbs and trans fats. When eaten together, they cause your blood sugar and cholesterol to rise at the same time. That's like pushing the accelerator and the brake pedal in your body at once. Your blood becomes thicker, your vessels narrower, and your heart works overtime to keep up. It's the kind of stress your arteries don't need first thing in the morning. If you've ever felt sluggish or foggy an hour after breakfast, this may be why. Your blood sugar rises sharply, then crashes, while your circulation struggles to keep up. For seniors with high blood pressure or early-stage arteriosclerosis, even small changes like this can be the difference between a stable morning and one filled with fatigue or dizziness. So what can you do instead? Swap your white toast for whole grain or sprouted bread, rich in fiber, magnesium, and B vitamins that support circulation. Replace margarine with avocado spread or a drizzle of extra virgin olive oil, both high in healthy monounsaturated fats that protect artery walls. And if you crave something sweet, add a few slices of banana or a sprinkle of cinnamon on top. Your breakfast doesn't have to be complicated. It just has to work with your body, not against it. Because every morning, your arteries wake up with you. The foods you choose in those first few minutes set the tone for the rest of your day, for your energy, your clarity, and your heart. Number 4. Bacon or sausage, the salty breakfast that thickens your blood. For many people, the smell of bacon in the morning brings back memories. Family breakfasts, Sunday mornings, the sound of sizzling in the pan. It feels comforting, familiar, even joyful. But for older adults, that comfort can come at a cost. Because bacon and sausage, two of the most common breakfast staples, can quietly thicken your blood, raise your pressure, and strain the very arteries that keep your brain alive. Here's the truth most people don't see. Bacon and sausage are not just meat. They're processed meats, cured and preserved with salt, nitrates, and saturated fats. And each one of those ingredients directly affects your blood vessels. Let's start with sodium. Just 2 slices of bacon can contain more than 400 milligrams of salt, and a single sausage link can add even more. That's nearly 1/3 of what an older adult should have in an entire day. When you eat that much sodium first thing in the morning, your body holds on to water to balance it out. That extra fluid increases your blood volume, making your heart work harder to push it through your arteries, which raises your blood pressure almost instantly. Over time, this morning ritual can quietly train your arteries to stay tense and stiff. And when those arteries lose flexibility, it becomes harder for blood to flow freely to your brain. That's why so many strokes occur in the morning, when thickened blood meets rigid vessels. Then there are the nitrates and saturated fats. Nitrates, used to preserve color and flavor, can turn into compounds in your body that damage artery walls and increase oxidative stress. Saturated fats, especially from processed pork, raise LDL cholesterol, which sticks to those weakened walls. Together, they create a slow, silent buildup that can one day turn into a blockage, a clot that stops blood flow when you least expect it. Some people think switching to turkey bacon or low-fat sausage makes it safe, but most of those versions are still high in sodium and preservatives. Even a healthier choice can have the same effect if it's processed or fried. If you love the flavor of a savory breakfast, here's what you can do instead. Replace bacon or sausage with boiled eggs, grilled salmon, or avocado toast. They give you protein and healthy fats without the salt. Or try sautéed mushrooms and spinach, rich in potassium, which helps balance sodium levels naturally. And if you really want to enjoy bacon once in a while, choose uncured, nitrate-free versions and eat them only on special occasions. The point isn't to erase every comfort from your plate. It's to protect your heart from the daily habits that quietly work against it. Because the truth is, your body still remembers every meal. And with each mindful choice, you give it another chance to keep beating strong, one calm morning at a time. Number 5. Flavored or sweetened yogurt, the healthy snack that spikes blood sugar. You've probably seen them lined up in the dairy aisle, small, colorful cups that promise gut health, protein, and energy. They look healthy, they taste good, and they're easy to grab in the morning. For many older adults, a cup of flavored yogurt feels like the perfect quick breakfast. But what most people don't realize is that these yogurts often contain more sugar than a dessert, and that morning sweetness can quietly hurt your circulation. Let's start with what happens inside your body. Flavored yogurt may look light and refreshing, but a single serving can contain 18 to 25 grams of added sugar. That's about 6 teaspoons, often hidden under names like fruit puree, honey blend, or natural sweetener. When you eat that first thing in the morning, especially on an empty stomach, your blood sugar spikes sharply. Your body releases insulin to bring it down. And when it drops too quickly, you feel tired, dizzy, or anxious. For seniors, that roller coaster isn't just uncomfortable. It can increase blood pressure and reduce oxygen flow to the brain. Here's why it matters. When blood sugar spikes and crashes, the lining of your arteries, called the endothelium, experiences repeated stress. Over time, those tiny cells become inflamed and lose elasticity. That means blood doesn't flow as smoothly, and small clots can form more easily. It's one of the silent processes behind morning strokes, where no pain or warning comes until it's too late. And the fruit in most flavored yogurts? It's rarely real fruit. It's usually a syrup or concentrate cooked with sugar and preservatives. Even low-fat or light yogurts can be worse. When fat is removed, sugar is often added to improve taste, leaving you with a sweet product that tricks your body into craving more. That's why many people feel hungry again within an hour after eating yogurt for breakfast. It's not satisfying your body, it's stimulating your sugar response. And when combined with coffee or toast, it can push your glucose and blood pressure even higher. So what's the alternative? Choose plain, unsweetened Greek yogurt. It's rich in protein, calcium, and probiotics that support digestion and circulation. If you like a little sweetness, add fresh berries or a few slices of banana. The natural fiber from fruit slows down sugar absorption and helps keep your blood flow steady. And if dairy doesn't agree with you, try unsweetened almond yogurt or kefir, both gentle on the stomach and great for gut health. Remember, the goal isn't to remove pleasure from your mornings. It's to remove the silent stress your arteries don't need. Because the truth is, your heart can handle a lot, but not the daily sugar spikes hiding in a healthy cup of yogurt. Number 6. Black coffee on an empty stomach, the morning kick, that dehydrates and raises blood pressure. For millions of people, the morning doesn't begin until that first sip of coffee. It's warm, comforting, and somehow makes the world feel a little more awake. For many older adults, it's not just a drink, it's a ritual. But here's something few realize. Drinking black coffee on an empty stomach can quietly stress your heart, dehydrate your body, and send your blood pressure soaring before breakfast even begins. Here's why. When you wake up, your body is naturally dehydrated. You've gone 7 or 8 hours without water, your blood is slightly thicker, and your pressure tends to be higher in the early morning. Then you drink a cup of black coffee, a natural diuretic and stimulant. It pushes your body to release even more water through your kidneys, further thickening your blood and forcing your heart to pump harder. That's not what your arteries need first thing in the morning. At the same time, caffeine triggers your adrenal glands to release cortisol and adrenaline, the fight-or-flight hormones. These hormones are meant to help you react to stress. But when they surge in the morning, they cause your blood vessels to constrict and your heart rate to rise. If you're over 60 and already dealing with high blood pressure or fragile arteries, that morning coffee can become a silent trigger, raising your risk of stroke or irregular heartbeat without any warning signs. And there's another layer. Caffeine on an empty stomach also increases stomach acid, which can irritate your gut lining and cause nausea or heartburn. When that happens, blood flow is redirected to your digestive system to compensate, leaving less oxygen going to your brain. That's why some people feel lightheaded or shaky after their first cup. Of course, coffee itself isn't the enemy. In moderation, it can improve alertness, focus, and even circulation. The problem is timing and context. Your body needs hydration and gentle activation before it needs stimulation. Here's how to do it right. Start your day with a glass of warm water first. Rehydrate before you caffeinate. Wait at least 30 minutes after waking up before drinking coffee. Never drink it on an empty stomach. Pair it with a small meal containing protein or healthy fat. And limit yourself to 1 or 2 small cups per day, ideally before noon. Your morning coffee doesn't have to disappear. It just needs a better place in your routine. Because your body isn't asking for caffeine when you wake up. It's asking for water, oxygen, and calm. Give it those first, and your heart, brain, and blood pressure will thank you for years to come. So now you know what to stay away from: the hidden sugars, the salty meats, the empty carbs, and the habits that quietly raise your blood pressure every morning. But here's the good news. Protecting your heart isn't about restriction. It's about replacing, giving your body the small, steady things it needs to work the way it was meant to. Because every morning, your body wakes up asking for help. It's asking for hydration, for oxygen, for rhythm and calm. And when you give it those things, before the rush of caffeine, before the sugar, before the noise, something remarkable happens. Your blood pressure steadies, your heartbeat softens, and your brain begins the day with clear, strong circulation. So let's look at 3 simple habits that can transform your mornings and quietly lower your risk of stroke with every sunrise. Number 1. Drink a glass of warm water before anything else. It sounds simple, maybe even too simple. But this one small act can change everything about how your body wakes up. After a full night's sleep, your body is mildly dehydrated. Your blood is thicker, your heart is working harder, and your circulation is slower. That's why strokes and heart attacks are most common in the early hours of the morning. Before you reach for coffee or breakfast, giving your body warm water is like turning on the engine gently, allowing the system to move again without shock. Warm water, not cold, is key. Cold water can constrict your blood vessels and slow digestion. Warm water, on the other hand, relaxes artery walls, improves elasticity, and helps flush sodium and waste products that have built up overnight. It also signals your kidneys and digestive system to wake up gradually, balancing hydration and blood flow before your heart has to push harder. Some doctors even call it liquid circulation therapy, because when your blood becomes slightly thinner from hydration, it flows more smoothly to your brain, your limbs, and your heart, reducing the risk of clots or pressure surges. If you want to make this habit even more powerful, add a squeeze of lemon. The natural potassium and antioxidants in lemon help neutralize acid, support the liver, and gently lower morning blood pressure. So before your coffee, before your pills, before your breakfast, reach for a glass of warm water. It's not just a drink. It's a quiet message to your body. I'm here. I'm ready to take care of you, and that message, repeated every morning, can do more for your heart than any medication ever could. Number 2, sit up slowly and breathe deeply before standing. Most people don't think twice about how they get out of bed. The alarm rings, they sit up fast, swing their legs over, and stand. But for older adults, that single movement, rising too quickly after sleep, can quietly trigger dizziness, imbalance, or even a small drop in blood flow to the brain. It's one of the most overlooked morning mistakes that doctors see in seniors recovering from strokes. Here's what happens inside your body. When you sleep, your heart rate slows, and blood flow shifts more evenly across your body. Your circulation and blood pressure are at their lowest point. Then, when you suddenly sit or stand, gravity pulls blood toward your legs. If your arteries or nervous system aren't as responsive as they used to be, your blood pressure can drop sharply, a condition known as orthostatic hypotension. You might feel lightheaded, weak, or lose balance for a few seconds. And for someone with fragile arteries or existing plaque, that sudden shift can be enough to disrupt blood flow to the brain, a small but real stroke trigger. That's why slowing down those first few seconds of the day is so important. When you sit up slowly, you give your heart and blood vessels time to adjust. Your body redistributes blood gradually, restoring stable circulation before you take your first steps. It's a small pause that keeps your morning and your brain steady. Once you're sitting up, take 3 deep, slow breaths. Inhale through your nose for 4 seconds. Hold it for a moment. Then exhale gently through your mouth. This simple act of deep breathing oxygenates your blood, calms your nervous system, and signals your arteries to relax. It's like pressing a reset button for your circulation. Within 30 seconds, your heart rate finds a healthy rhythm, and your blood flow to the brain increases naturally. If you sometimes wake up feeling dizzy, anxious, or foggy, this habit can help more than any supplement. You're not just waking up your mind, you're waking up your body the right way. So tomorrow morning, when you open your eyes, resist the urge to rush. Take your time. Sit up slowly. Breathe. Let your body catch up with your day before your day catches up with you. Because sometimes, preventing a stroke doesn't come from what you eat or drink. It comes from how you move in the very first minute of your morning. Number 3, eat a balanced, protein-rich breakfast to protect circulation. By now, your body is awake. You've rehydrated, taken a few deep breaths, and stood up slowly. Your blood is moving, your brain is alert, and your heart is calm. Now comes the part that keeps it that way, your first meal of the day. What you eat in the morning decides how your blood flows for the next several hours. A good breakfast can keep your energy steady, your blood pressure stable, and your arteries relaxed. But the wrong one, high in sugar, salt, or refined carbs, can undo all the good you just did. That's why the most powerful stroke prevention habit isn't skipping breakfast. It's eating the right kind of breakfast, one that's rich in protein, healthy fats, and slow digesting carbs. When you give your body protein first thing in the morning, it does 3 important things. It helps maintain steady blood sugar levels, preventing the sharp rises and crashes that can trigger blood vessel stress. It supports muscle and vascular tone, which keeps circulation strong and helps your heart pump efficiently. And it increases nitric oxide production, which helps arteries relax and stay flexible, a key factor in preventing blood clots and high pressure. So, what does that look like on your plate? Start with something simple. 1 or 2 boiled eggs, a slice of whole grain toast, and a few slices of avocado. Or try oatmeal topped with chia seeds and Greek yogurt, a perfect balance of protein, fiber, and healthy fat. Even a small smoothie with banana, almond butter, and unsweetened soy milk can give you gentle, sustained energy without the sugar overload of typical breakfast foods. Avoid skipping breakfast altogether. When you go too long without eating, your body releases stress hormones like cortisol to keep your energy up, but that also raises your blood pressure. Starting your day with steady nutrition signals safety to your body. You're nourished, you're stable, you're okay. Think of your breakfast as the foundation of your circulation. You're not just feeding your stomach, you're fueling your brain, your heart, and the 60,000 miles of blood vessels that carry life through your body. So tomorrow morning, when you sit down to eat, choose foods that work for you, not against you. Let breakfast become your daily act of protection, a quiet investment in strength, balance, and longevity. Because after 60, good health doesn't come from big changes. It comes from the small, mindful moments that happen right after you open your eyes. Every morning gives you two choices. You can rush, grab whatever's easy, pour a quick coffee, and push through the day. Or you can slow down, listen to your body, and begin with care. One path leads to stress, thickened blood, and quiet damage you may not feel until it's too late. The other leads to calm circulation, steady energy, and a heart that thanks you for every gentle choice. You've seen now how small things, the cereal in your bowl, the toast on your plate, the coffee in your hand, can shape your day more than you realize. But just as the wrong foods can cause harm, the right habits can heal. A glass of warm water to wake up your circulation. A few slow breaths to steady your heart. A nourishing breakfast to protect your brain. These are not big changes. They're small acts of love for your heart, your health, and the years still waiting ahead. You don't need perfection to stay well. You just need awareness, the willingness to pay attention to what your body is quietly telling you. Because even after 60, 70, or 80, your body is still listening. It still responds to kindness. It still wants to heal. So tomorrow morning, don't start your day with rush or regret. Start it with intention. Drink water, breathe, eat something that truly serves you. And as you sit at the table, take a moment to feel grateful for your body, your breath, and the chance to choose again. That's where real healing begins. Because the truth is, your morning isn't just a routine, it's medicine. And every sunrise gives you one more opportunity to take it wisely.